Welcome to another episode of the AI Bros podcast. I have with me today, here he is, ladies and gentlemen.
There he is. Yeah, your boy John Lawson. What's up?
How you doing, John? How's your weekend going so far? What's going on today?
It's going pretty good. It's just getting started, but nothing exciting. It's Father's Day weekend. Yeah.
That's good. I haven't gotten any cards, so I'm still off the hook.
Well, yeah, my daughter took us out to breakfast this morning, so I'm good and full.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I made some jambalaya dirty rice last night, so I'm feeling kind of full still. So that was good. So what's going on in AI? What are you seeing out there? Anything new, exciting happening, new and interesting?
There's always something new going on somewhere.
Yeah. I know I want to be Alexander Wang this week with a $15 billion check in my hand from Mark Zuckerberg because you know it's good and cashable.
Why did he get a check?
Mark bought 49% of Scale AI for a sum of like 15 billion, not million, billion dollars, 49% stake. They're a company that labels data for AI companies, and they've got like 10,000 contractors that are labeling images and text and this and that to help train the LLMs. Mark's apparently frustrated with the speed and of getting to AGI and how quick it's developing and so he's building out a whole new division and really going after it and throwing more money at it than he already was. I think he said he was going with 65 billion this year as a total, but he's already spent 15 just on this alone. So who knows how many chips he's bought, you know?
That's a lot of chips.
Yeah. Well, yeah, still a lot of left over there. But I mean, this stuff is expensive. He just signed a deal with, I think, Constellation Energy. There's some kind of a nuclear energy company, and for like small reactors and that kind of stuff. This stuff is going to take a boatload of energy, and he's building that big data center. And so,
Yeah, didn't he buy a decommissioned uh, plant? Did you see that?
yeah, essentially, without him coming in, the plant would have like closed up. Essentially, is what they said, and
Hmm.
so I don't even think he's getting it right away. Right, like he doesn't have the requirements like right now. He's doing it as like the start of a partnership. Like, hey, let's keep you guys up and running, and maybe like continue to build on that, and then we'll build it out from there when we really need it, right? So let's get you guys going and keep you afloat till then.
Power is necessary during these. I mean, it's going to be like crazy. I can't remember somebody was saying that we needed to build like 20 more of those in America at some point
Oh yeah, yeah.
just
Data
to
centers are
keep
going to
up.
be huge, just for
No,
America. Yeah.
right. But I mean, my God, that's a lot of nuclear power you need.
Yeah, and they say it's not going to be like the big ones, like the 3 Mile Island and all the other stuff that
Okay. If we need
it,
mini nukes.
mini nukes, just small explosions all over the United States instead of one big one out on the end of an island somewhere. These are just going to be like all around in your neighborhood and everything, like a local fire hydrant or something, right? No, but
That's crazy.
it's going to be necessary. Almost every town's going to have some kind of interconnection to that main grid, right? I mean, it's they're not laying fiber fast enough. We're not deploying solar fast enough. We're not deploying energy fast enough. This all comes from Brett King when I spoke with him the other day. He says the U.S. is way behind. He travels all over the world, and he's like, we're way behind over here, and we really need to catch up if we want to win infrastructure-wise, just basic infrastructure. So,
Way behind on infrastructure.
yeah,
I
China's
don't know. I don't know if we can even catch up to China. when it comes to
200 and I think he
infrastructure.
said 270 gigawatts of solar they've deployed, and we've like deployed like 170 megawatts since like the beginning of time, since we started deploying it right here in the U.S. Their Belt and Road Initiative, transportation, and um, uh, flight and everything transportation. Think they invested very heavily in that. It was called the Belt and Road. All kinds of uh, they're seeing AI as like a national thing. They're China anyway. Everything's going to be state owned to begin with, right? There is
Right.
industries, but it's a matter of like country pride, a sovereign AI, a state pride kind of a thing. Uh, so they're really going after it from like a, let's call it a national concentrated focus, right? And they just tell the workers, do this, or what happens, right? And they're like, okay, we're going to do this, right? So it's he's saying like so many other countries aren't doing as well, but China, the southeast China, right? The lower part of China also, right? All around that area, India, all those areas are bustling with AI, right? And we're kind of leaving it to private enterprise here in the U.S., who's kind of working in conjunction with the government, but it doesn't seem like the government's throwing a whole lot of money at it. That's what's weird to me. Maybe they are, and I don't see it. But I know they've done. The National Institute recently launched a huge computer, a supercomputer, largest ever, and da 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 da. But um, you would think, as important as this is, that the government will be throwing trillions at it also.
Nah, can't see it. The government right now, I don't know. They can't
Yeah,
seem to get things together.
yeah. I talked to Brett quite a bit about the universal basic income, and I know you and I had talked about that when
Oh,
after I
right. Yeah. What was he saying?
well, it's going to become necessary, right? I mean, we had what's his name, Trump's guy, David. Whatever his name is, his AI czars, David Sachs, say the other day that it's not going to happen here in the U.S. We're not going to have UBI. That's government welfare. That's a fantasy. Like, forget
Right.
that. But it's going to become necessary. I think. I think it's going to become necessary quicker than we realize when we start displacing all these workers.
Hmm. I was doing the thing. I was wondering, like, we've had advancements in tech before that have changed industries massively, but probably not on the level that they're saying for AI. But I mean, so many new jobs will be created as well, and we don't know what those jobs are. We don't know how this will shake out, nor how fast this will really actually happen. So it'll be interesting, but I'm seeing just like in in my little circle, there's so many little things that you used to source out to agencies, or you would hire assistants and things like that, that you don't have to do anymore, and it's pretty staggering.
Like virtual assistants for setting appointments and follow-ups and all that kind of stuff, as well as generating graphics, I'm sure, and maybe even generating some text and that sort of thing, writing quick scripts for videos and things like that. It's yeah.
Marketing, basic marketing, a lot of that is being done with AI, and I think that's going to go really ham very soon.
Well, I did the interview with Brett, and then I divided out the clips, and then I asked the generative AI that's right there inside the project. It's just another little window to write a description of the episode, and it wrote the episode that I've been posting on Facebook with the clips. I didn't write that at all, folks. I think I might have edited a little bit to get the right case, right? But other than that, it's all AI. It's all the Riverside AI, and I don't know what they're plugged into. whatever they're plugged into. That's what wrote the text for that. You know, I
Did
started
you
to
see
write it,
the
and
NBA commercial?
I did 2 days and two grand on VO3.
Right. So
Insane.
PJ Ace, I think his handle is something like that. But he created a TV commercial in 2 days, spent about $2,000 in AI generation credits, and created a, you know, commercial that was aired on the NBA Finals. And
So that's national TV. Actually, probably international TV if it's
yeah,
NBA
that's
Finals, right?
international. I mean,
Yeah.
definitely, you know, and I just think that is going to be a tipping point. So now a lot of agents, agencies are going to be looking at these AI agents basically and using that stuff to create commercials. It's like, that's big.
And
That's pretty huge.
to kind of follow up from like what we spoke about last time, right? You're talking about 4 second clips, and if you look at that thing and you watch it and you count it, it's
It's
four or five
5 second
seconds,
clips each.
right? Bang, 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 right up to the what they do 30 seconds. It was a 30-second commercial, I believe, right? And
Right.
I'm sure he had to generate a lot of images before he came up with everything that he
Well,
wanted.
that's why it costs $2,000
Yeah, that's a lot of image credits. But how much did he
until you
get
get it
paid
right.
as an? That's what it cost him. How much did he get paid as an agency from this company and get all that regardless of $2,000 of credit, the exposure alone that he got, and I'm sure he's got all kinds of offers on the table already for a next one, right? And that's all you need is a viral thing. And nobody even knew it during the playoffs. Nobody was like really aware during the playoffs. It was like after the fact that they
Yeah,
started.
nobody was sitting there going like, "Hey, that was a." But I mean, there were so many tells. But I'm sure most people aren't paying that much attention
No, they're
to
really not.
because you're trying to get a message across, and it did that so well.
Well, you get your sports book open, right? You get your sports book open, and you got your social open. You're talking to your bookie over here, right? You get your snacks. You got I don't know what else is going on, right? I mean, like how can you keep up with all the commercials and everything, right?
But it was so fast moving, and just all the imagery in it was so outrageous anyway. I mean, the old man in the ring, with the American flag on himself, and it was just crazy. It was crazy. Was he in the
It,
ring? I don't know. He was at a sporting event of some sort.
yeah, it was all around that, and
Yeah,
it was very well done as far as like a professional shine. Though I mean, like as far as like image quality, right,
yeah.
and the quality of the actual production and timing and soundtrack and everything that went with it. I'm sure there was a lot more put into it. That's $2,000 in 2 days to generate the images. That's a whole nother thing to cut that up and edit it and laid a soundtrack and everything else
No, I
with it.
mean that was all done in the 2 days.
Was it?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was all done in 2 days. And the deal is, if you follow the guy, and I've followed him for a while. I mean, he does this over and all the time. He's always making, YouTube videos about how to use, AI generation tools for commercial production, movie production. Although he is a actual Hollywood videographer, producer, one of the things, so he has a background in this stuff, and he's just about how to use that and leverage that for your craft, and for somebody to come to him and say, "Hey, here you go, make us a 30-second commercial," and they take it and get it approved by the NBA to be played during the um, finals. That's exciting. And I think it is definitely a tipping point for AI image generation, video generation, marketing, all of this stuff.
How long before someone makes a feature film? I'm not talking a Martin Scorsese 3 hour thing, but like, feature film that plays in the theaters that's mostly AI. It could probably have some human actors like Roger Rabbit did, right? Animation in with humans, right? But like, how long before a feature film, you think?
I know that the uh, Motion Picture Academy just changed, or they didn't change, they just made it clear that if your film is generated with AI or if it's done by old school, it doesn't matter to them which, they're still going to uh, judge it and vote on it, even if it's all generated by AI. So that just lets me know that that's right around the corner. Now I don't know if it's going to be like a long formatted, 2 hour feature, but I mean, movie shorts, I can see that already happening. Already happening. I think we're probably 6 months away from somebody being able to put together you know, an animated type film like Toy Story.
What's his name? Katzenberger, Jeffrey Katzenberger, that started
Hmm.
DreamWorks. He dropped like 15 mil recently. He invested in a company called Creatify, I think it was, and that's their thing. They're trying to create AI animation, AI animated shorts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's where DreamWorks came from. DreamWorks essentially is a studio that's trying to look like Pixar, right? Not to down them or anything, but they saw the success of Pixar and the anthropomorphism of animals, and they said let's go at this, right? And very successful studio that they sprung up out of nowhere. They're kind of like a startup, and they kind of turned Katzenberg down to do some stuff. I watched the story on it, and that's why he started DreamWorks. He wanted to do something, and they're like, no, no. So him and some partners went and started DreamWorks, and became very successful. And now he sees a big opportunity in AI with this company. So more to
That's
come on that.
crazy.
Yeah,
That is really pretty good. That's
yeah.
really pretty good. Now I saw another story, right? This is off topic from that. However, it says like Google's AI tools are devastating website traffic. Based on comprehensive research, here's what's going on. Google's AI tools are dramatically impacting website traffic. Major publishers, the New York Times, said organic search traffic has dropped 44% in the last 3 years. Huffington Post, Washington Post, Business Insider, all of them saw traffic drops of more than 50%.
It's you don't get
So,
10 blue links anymore. I mean, you used to you'd put in a search term, right? Whatever you're looking for, and you'd get three sponsored, two or three sponsored across the top, and then a bunch on the right, and then 10 that were non-sponsored that were reality, right? And then the next page, right? And it don't do that anymore. First thing you get is an AI generation and a summarization. And I got to tell you, the other day, I paid my internet bill over the phone with Spectrum. And so the other day, I woke up really early in the morning. I was like, "Oh, I got to pay Spectrum." Right? It was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and so I Googled on the phone, what's the bill payment number for Spectrum, so I can call and pay them. I should have it in my phone after paying it all these years, but I don't, right? So it gave me the number. I copied it, I pasted it into the phone, I hit dial, put it on speaker. Welcome to the hottest chat room. And it gave me totally the wrong number. It was voice porn. I swear to God, swear up. And I hung up immediately. I was like, wait a minute. And so I asked it again, and further down there was the number I had called before. And I was like, so Google gave, swear to God, I posted on Facebook. You can go and look at it. You can go look at the number and you can go dial it if you want.
that's weird.
AI summarization from Google.
AI summarization. So did you go to the email itself?
I didn't get an email from the company.
Oh,
I
okay.
just woke up and I was like, oh, it's like the 10th or the 11th, right? And I usually pay it like by the 6th. And I'm like, oh, it's like time to pay the Spectrum bill. It wasn't past due, it was just due, right? So I'm like, while I'm thinking of it, I'm awake. I got my phone in my hand here. And so I just typed into Google, right? I opened up the search and I was like, bill pay phone number Spectrum. That was it, right?
Okay.
And it was
Okay.
855, right? And I was like, okay, copy. Went to the phone, paste it into the phone app, dial. Welcome
And it
to
just
the
gave you the
hottest chat
wrong number.
line. And I was like, okay, Google. I posted it and I added Google right on Facebook. I was like, hey, Google, because they were telling people put glue on pizza and AI summarizations when they first started doing it, throw some rocks up on top to make it, give it texture, all kinds of crazy stuff, right? The guardrails need more guardrails, right? Let's just face it, folks. It's not going to be perfect at this point.
Yeah. I mean, we're the beta testers.
Yeah. Oh,
We're
yeah.
the beta testers, you know. And I mean, Google itself, while I think they have like amazing AI tools for sure, I mean, their pro tools are killing it. However, they're running a race that is very crowded all of a sudden. And I think it's having them rush things out that are not fully baked.
Yeah.
So,
They, what was I watching? One of the shows, one of the tech correspondents talking with each other, right? And they were saying, for years now, we go over to Google and they show us all these science projects, but then we go over to Apple and they show us these products that they're shipping, right? This is a product, it's done, it's finished. This is a thing, and we're shipping. Yeah, it may alter it a little bit down the road, but it's a done product and we're shipping it, right? And it just doesn't feel that way with Google. It feels one, like we said before, scattered all over God's green earth, right? You got to go to 10,000 different places to get it. And then two, it feels like a project. It doesn't feel like a finished product.
right, right.
So, it's I told you why it's hard for me to jump on board with them, right? But I am seeing a lot of people jumping on board with Claude, like what we talked about. Anthropic is just raking it in like left and right, just like getting all kinds of people to work there, making all kinds of advances. They're trying to get into the defense contracting stuff now with some of the other companies that are focused on the defense contracting. Um, Senator, congressman, somebody that was big in military strategy, but I don't know because that's not a focus of my interest, right? But he's on their board now, right? It's all about getting contracts. Government contracts are where it's at right now because they're making money with end users, right? And they're winning
hmm
there, but like let's double it up, let's triple it up, right? I mean, let's take advantage of these capabilities that they have. It's crazy.
Did you follow the announcements at WWDC this year for
I
Apple?
watched it. I watched it, and I want to get your feedback on it because I don't think I've formed an opinion on it yet. I think I'm still watching some of the after shows, right? Because they film them and then they release them like 2 days later. I wanted to get your take on what you thought about everything and where you think they are and what you think about Apple and AI moving forward.
Um, it was very non-AI heavy for sure. New iOS naming conventions, yay, great. Liquid glass, yay, great. Um, it just, I don't know. It was not like earth shattering to me at all. And then when it came to AI and Apple Intelligence, it was more or less okay. We've got some shortcuts now that you can tap into where you get Apple Intelligence directly. Okay, that's great. We've got some Chat GPT integrations. Okay, expected, but nothing earth shattering there to me. It just, I guess it felt like they played it very safe as opposed to last year
Do
where they
you
went all in.
So you like the new design interface? You like the way it looks and the way it kind of responds to the user and all that sort of stuff. Having just seen
Yeah,
it, not touched it,
yeah.
right?
I
But
mean, it looks fine. Who cares? I mean, I hear people complaining about little things like it's hard to read on certain areas or something like that. That's about the worst that I've heard. But nah, it looks fine. We'll see. It doesn't matter because once they roll it out, it'll be what it'll be. Because I do remember when they changed the interface to what it looks like now, right? And everybody was going crazy. They didn't like
yeah,
how cartoonish it looked, blah, blah, blah. But here we are, maybe 7 years later, and it's no big deal.
I
So,
I I never liked. They did that with seven, and what I never liked, and I felt like it was exactly the same. Is the share button was the square with the arrow pointing up, right? And I was like, this is the worst design in the world. To me, that design of that square with the arrow going up was the same as I had the iPad Pro. I think the 2015, 2016 iPad Pro, the 13-inch one, right? And I had to
uh-huh.
charge the Apple Pencil by sticking it in the lightning port of that thing. And it was the stupidest looking thing ever, right? You had a great big
Still
bag,
got
right?
it.
Right?
Still got it.
And to me, that was exactly the same design, right? A thing with a stick coming out of the end of it. And I was like, I just didn't like the flat thing. I was an Android guy when that came out. I was, I
Right.
was,
Yes.
I was, I
It was all
was,
flat. That's what it was, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I had an LG that I had bought. I was in the G series in the LG, their premium line, right? Their flagship. And I had one that had like a leather back on it. And pixels started dying on the screen. And they said, oh, yeah, ship it back to us. We'll fix it. We'll ship it back to you. And I'm like,
Hmm.
what are you talking about? I'm like, how long? And they're like, oh, 19, 20 days. I'm like, wait a minute. What are you talking about? They're like, we don't have any repair facilities local to you, right? You can go to like a phone shop and have it done. But like, I was like, no, it's under warranty. And they're like, this is how we do warranty. I was like, oh no. And I bought an Apple
So
and I've
this is
never been back.
it's the most major overhaul since seven.
Yeah. Yeah. They've done a couple little tweaks along the way, but, that share button's been the same since seven. And I've hated it all the way. Right. I like the redesign. Um, I've got a friend, Michael Darius. He was on the iTunes design team and worked at Apple with Steve, side by side with Steve. Real story, right? He's in my Facebook. And I was asking him about it. And he said that the glass thing, they didn't call it liquid glass, but they've had the glass thing around as because they were into the skeuomorphics, right? It's a natural substance, right? And so glass is a natural substance. He said they've always kind of had it around as an element, but to see it brought into the forefront and then to see it given those, the liquid properties, right? The elasticity, I guess is the right word of the thing bouncing and moving and moving in conjunction with you. And he thought that was he was very, and he's very real when it comes to like, I asked him, I wanted to know because he's somebody that will like just lay it out if it's not right. If it's not good design, he'll tell you like really quick, right? He's really quick. And he's like, he was very much in favor of it. And so I go with somebody's opinion that like work with Steve and like, all that kind of stuff. Right. And like,
Hmm.
you know, so that was interesting to me. What I didn't like was they're like, welcome to WWDC. Here's Craig. And Craig's like, I'm sorry, guys. We kind of like choked on Siri and we're not going to mention it again for like the rest of this broadcast.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say. And disclaimer said, moving on. That's what it seemed like to me, right? Like you said, it was a lot of stuff,
Right.
a lot of stuff. I mean, there was a lot. We can do this with this, and we're doing. But they were talking about every OS they had and different things that were
Yes.
possible in every OS, right? But
Felt kind of
I'm
old school.
I think that the journalists who I was watching Gruber's show during Fireball, he still had his after WWDC show, even though Apple didn't participate in it. He had Joanna Stern from New York Times, and he had Nilay Patel from The Verge as his guests. And they spent a lot of time talking about what happened in WWDC and what happened before it, and, and I really think that it's now as a subject in the tech thing. It's kind of like, okay, they admitted they had a problem, give them a chance to correct it, right? And let's move on to the next crisis of the day, right? Whatever the next thing is, give them a break. We beat on them enough, right? Give them a break. You know they always deliver, right? You know they're going to. They look
Right.
they look like beat dogs in the interviews I've seen, right? They look like beaten dogs, for God's sake. So like let's move on, right? We said what we needed to say. They got the message, and let them go do their thing, right? They will. So that's how I kind of feel about it. I think, in
Yeah,
summarizing it all,
I think so. I think so. Some other major stuff. I don't know if it's that major, but Samsung. I don't know if you saw this. They're talking about putting Perplexity as their um, default assistant in their new Galaxy series
Oh, really?
starting next year. Yeah. And
Wow.
that would potentially replace Google Gemini. So a partnership between Perplexity over Google for Samsung.
Hmm.
Interesting, right?
Well, Perplexity's kind of doing things a little bit different than everybody else is. I really admire the guy. That first thing I went to that John Werner did up at MIT, the whole team was up there. He had like the first six of his company, right? And they spent about an hour, and everybody got to like share a little bit. It was a little panel sesh, and very interesting company. And they had their growth guys there. They had the CEO there, with his vision, and they had their sales guys, and uh, it was interesting, and it just feels different. And I think companies are looking for something different, and not just to deliver that. Um, a lot of times when I think of a Google experience, I think of it like buying a generic product from a supermarket, right? It's just a white box with
Really?
black print on it, right? I think of it that way. It's like
Hmm.
a Google product's like a commodity, kind of, right? It's like if I could afford something better, I would, right?
Hey, leave my phone alone.
No, I'm not talking about your phone. I'm
I
talking
leave. I
about
like my phone.
no, I'm not beating on your phone. But it always feels like if they could do something a little bit differently, right? Yeah, is
Yeah,
that a
my
sign
lights
from
will.
God? Yeah,
All right. Yeah, there you go.
that's the AI gods being angry with me for talking Google.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah. Google, I've been warned.
Okay, I'll stop right there, Google. I'm just trying to see what time it is.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
So, Bixby that's been with Samsung forever. What's happening to Bixby? That's going by the wayside, and they're placing it with Perplexity. There's been Bixby
Oh,
buttons on Samsung phones forever to call their Siri, right? Is what they called it, right?
really?
Yeah.
Probably. It's saying here that Samsung is expected to be one of Perplexity's biggest investors with $500 million funding round, evaluating the startup at now 14 billion. So,
These valuations of these companies, these guys are 2, 3, 4 years old, John, and they're
yeah,
this Alexander Wang, the kid looks like he's 17 years old. I mean, and he just got a check for 15 billion, which takes the valuation on his company to like 19 billion or something like that. It's a 4-year-old company.
this reminds me of the 1990s. I've been here
Ay,
before.
ay, ay.
I'm old enough to remember 25 years ago,
Yeah, but
and
those
so,
were $1 million deals. These are $1 billion deals, right? I
well, I
mean
mean,
that
hey, that was 25 years ago, too. So,
yeah, that's
I
true.
mean, yeah. You know, I mean, yeah, it's a lot going on right now. A lot of money being invested, but we are in a bubble, and I don't
Right,
even
King?
think it's turned into a bubble yet, but
Right,
it's
King
about
told me
to.
that he's doing he lives in Thailand, and Thailand, I did not know this, is number one dental um vacation place.
Thailand,
They
really? Okay.
go there to get the teeth done, right? Because it's
Oh, yeah,
inexpensive,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. I
And
remember that used to be cosmetics too, so a lot of
so
cosmetic surgeons go there.
probably
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
And he just received, I don't know if he said he finalized on it, but we were talking about it in the thing. I think he said he finalized $2.5 million funding deal for an AI powered toothbrush that he is creating with some other guys. It uses a camera. It looks inside your mouth. It sees what it needs to see, and it tells you where you need to brush, where you need to concentrate. It has an app on your phone. It shows you your mouth, right? And it's taking a 3D thing and pictures and everything else, and it's AI, all the things, John. Remember, Nest got sold to Google for billions of dollars for putting Wi Fi in a thermostat. They put Wi Fi in a thermostat and put an LED display on it. That's all they did, right? I
Hey,
mean,
it works.
right?
I
AI in
still
a
have one.
thermostat. AI in a thermostat. Google, I got a deal for you. Google, I got AI in a thermostat.
But
And now
now
Net
AI in a toothbrush.
AI and a toothbrush, AI and I don't know, a blow dryer, hair dryer, everything, right?
That's crazy.
AI, all the things. $2.5 million investment. I'm
Let's
sure
go.
it's gonna fly off the. Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna fly off the shelves. I'm
Let's
sure it's gonna
go.
fly. You know,
Let's
so
go. If people want it and they buy it, it'll be a $1 billion product.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
There was a.
AI fraud.
I'm trying to remember the name of the company. I think it's Leifen or something like that. It came out about 6 months ago. It was a toothbrush that had removable heads. You put different heads on it, but the bottom worked like the MagSafe charger on your MacBook. It looked exactly the same, and it snapped to the thing exactly like the MagSafe charger, right?
Hmm.
And they were saying like this is like a Joni Ive designed toothbrush. It wasn't, but it was $100 for the thing. It was a aluminum body, right? It had rechargeable heads. It had some kind of I don't know I think it's Leifen. It wasn't Joni that designed it, but they said if Joni Ive designed a toothbrush, like this is what it would be. It's $100 for a damn toothbrush. So there is a
Uh,
market for that stuff. I don't see them advertising it anymore, but they were
mm,
advertising the hell out of it through YouTube influencers when it first came out.
Interesting.
About a year ago now, I would think, right
A
about then.
hundred
So,
dollar toothbrush. Yeah, I see it. Prime oral care. Okay. Okay. Who knew?
yeah,
Who knew
I mean, I
that
go
this
by
market is that wide?
I buy the 4 pack that's, I don't know, $7. I don't know.
No. I mean, I've got an electric toothbrush. I mean, come on.
I'm a manual guy. So, anyway,
Oh my gosh. Come on. You got to get with the electric at
but now,
least. I mean,
um, so what else is good? So Samsung, that's different.
that's big.
It is big because listen, despite Google owning Android, Samsung is the one selling all the Android phones and tablets and laptops and
Yeah.
Chromebooks
I
and
mean,
everything
yeah.
else, right? They're the ones that are selling all the Android devices, right?
Yeah.
Refrigerators, everything, TVs, everything has Android in it now.
Yeah.
Toasters, everything. Even if you don't
Open
see it,
source.
yeah,
Open
it's
source. Open
for
source one.
and totally manipulable. You can pretty much do anything you want with it, make it look any way you want, and design it any way you want. So yeah,
Yeah.
I just saw a thing that said that they were going to fork that. They were still going to maintain a open source Android,
version.
but they're going to Google specifically is going to start producing some devices that are a Google fork, right? Like they had the Google Play versions for a long time, right? That were like they called it the pure Google experience, right? I had some of those, and that was a nice experience. It was very clean, right? It was very easy to manipulate, but I haven't thought about using a Android phone since iPhone
I
7.
just said leave my phone alone.
I'm not. I'm just
But
thinking about when I did have it, when I could take off the back and change out the battery and all kinds of stuff, right?
but this is the same play that Meta's trying to do with AI.
What do you mean?
With Meta having their AI open sourced, they want people to build all kinds of stuff on that platform, you know, and that's the same play that Google had when they did Android.
Exactly. Yeah. Bring everybody in, leave it open, let everybody develop on it, continue to
Yes.
iterate on it, make it better, right? And I just saw that Meta, what's his name, Yan. They released VJEPA version 2. I don't know what's the difference. I haven't gone and dug into it. I saw a headline, but they've released the VJEPA, their video training model that they do in their AI with. Like I said, Mark's like, go, 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 go. Here's
Right.
money, right? Like, I got to win. I want to win
He
this
wants
race, right?
to.
Yeah.
Good
Everybody does,
luck.
I think. Who do you think is going to win it?
Somebody that that's not even playing in the game right now,
You think somebody's going
or
to
somebody that we don't talk about right now.
a dark horse that's going to come out of nowhere and make it happen, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
probably a Chinese company.
You may not be that wrong.
I know, I know. I mean, they're making some amazing stuff right now in
They
China,
really
and it's
are.
pushing stuff very, very fast. So, but I don't overlook, open AI because still, I, I'm still impressed with the fact that they're able to still keep up and do some releases and make me go, "Ooh, that's cool." So I'm kind of impressed, even in I am one of those people that are using Anthropic tools all the time, you know. But every once in a while, I will fire up ChatGPT to do something simply because the interface is so friendly, or I don't know. I don't know if it's friendly, but it's the industry standard for sure.
Yeah.
You
Uh,
know.
almost everybody I've watched that's like in the funding of founders game, right? Like the Y Combinator, Gary Tan, and Andreessen Horowitz, and all those guys that Sequoia Capital, all those guys that throw money at these people, right? Every one of them has said Sam Altman is the ultimate founder, right? He is a founder's founder, right? He's like that good at it. He knows what to say. He knows how to change course. He knows what a product should look like. He knows how to,
Yeah.
he knows how to raise money. He's got all the skill sets that a founder really needs. And like, they're like, if you want a model to follow, if you're building a company, this guy is the guy to do it with, right? And I really believe that his influence, because like every announcement, he's there kind of guiding the announcement, right? He's got 3 or 4 of the kids sitting there, talking about all the stuff, but he's kind of like, okay, now you talk about this, now you talk about this, right? And he's got his language, right? And he's very
Hmm.
focused on delivering the message that he wants to deliver.
Yeah. Absolutely. And he's kept the team lean, and they're rolling out stuff all the time. So I don't discount them in this game still.
He put out a blog post the other day to capture some more media share, right? About like AI is like already smarter than almost everybody on the planet. How do we know that, super intelligence, AGI, really hasn't arrived here yet? He's saying like we're so close to it, it seems like it's already kind of here, right? He put out this whole blog post saying it's kind of gently arriving. It's kind
I
of,
wonder if do you think that was in response to the Apple report?
I think so. I th- My take on that Apple report, I tend to go with what's his name, Nate, that I follow, the guy that wears the beanies and all the heavy winter clothing on camera all the time. He said that they stripped that thing down to having virtually no resources, and then it kind of expected it to perform as if it had all the resources in the world. And he said they released that report before Anthropic released that report that said they kind of understood the workings of the black box of AI, right? And so this report happened like, I don't know, a couple months. They weren't given any money. It was bare bones. He does a whole 15-minute video on it. I posted a while back. I didn't put it in the thing in the newsletter, but I posted it online. And he's a strategy guy, and I tend to think that Apple, at the same time, they were kind of saying, well, we want to do this best, and we want to, and they are kind of saying like, it's not ready yet, so that's why we're kind of putting out this report, right? We're not ready. It's not ready. We're kind of telling everybody that in two different breaths in two different ways, right?
Hmm. See,
It's
I
marketing,
don't
dude.
know. I mean, uh, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, there's times definitely where uh if you put the different AI models together, you got the LLM and then you got the one where, it's a thinking model. And there's certain times where you want to use the old school LLM because it's faster and then if I use the thinking models for some stuff, it kind of gets it wrong. It's like it overthinks so much, that it doesn't come out with the answer. So it's like, here I am 6 minutes later, and for something that I could have done in, 10 seconds on 4.0, and I'm sitting here on 0.3 waiting for it to come back. And then when it comes back, it's kind of muddled. It's not
Yeah.
as intelligent of a response as I would have gotten on 0.4 or 4.0. So I don't know. That's interesting.
And OpenAI just put out a pro version of what, O3 Pro, was it?
Oh,
O3.
3 Pro, yes.
Yeah. So that's like Nate was saying, that's like a Ferrari. Like, you only want to take that when you're really going out on the track and you really want to rip it up, right? And you really want to performance and speed and performance and agility and all that sort of thing. Uh, he was saying, if you're just looking for your day to day stuff, this is not the model to use, right? So
And it's
I
not that fast.
it's not.
I mean, they give performance up for, you know, uh, um, thought.
Oh,
So,
okay. Okay.
yeah. So it's
Maybe I misunderstood him, or maybe I didn't
well, I'm just
mix
saying. I
something
mean,
up.
I don't know. I mean, just
Yeah.
from my use of it, it's not fast. It's not like, wow, that's zippy fast. However, its response is way more on point.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but to me, it feels like if I don't have a model that can do all of the things, then are we really at AGI? No,
No.
you know,
If
uh,
it's real AGI, the AGI will know which
we'll
model
figure
to
out
use when you're
exactly,
by your input, right? I mean,
exactly.
that's real artificial intelligence, right? I want artificial intelligence to be like Apple Magic has been on my devices, right?
Yes,
It surprises and delights me. I don't have to think about it. There's no friction involved. It just happens. Like Apple used to say, you already know how to use it, right?
yeah,
Out of the box, you know what you got to do with it, right? It's there. There's nothing to learn. There's nothing to know, nothing to do. Just go about as you were doing it before, and it'll help you.
well, I think they cleared the runway with Apple's announcements this week and kind of slowed down AI. a little bit, like from the week before. So hopefully next week we'll have even more stuff.
Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to the new version, the new operating system, especially on the Mac. I think the Tahoe is going to look smacking on the Mac, right? I I don't use an iPad anymore, so I don't really care about that. But between the Mac and the iPhone, that those are my two machines that I use all the time, right? And it looks good on both of them. And having the new machines and the new monitors and everything, that'll uh, they just released the developer beta one of the new OS. So it's going to be 2 months before a month, 2 months before we actually get it, right? Till it's delivered to the public. But that's not that long, really, when you really think about like what they're doing and what they're delivering, right? So,
Cool.
yeah.
Final thoughts?
I'm looking forward to. I think there's gonna be a whole bunch of investments coming out. I think Larry Ellison, now that he's the second richest man in the world, I think he's going to drop some more money in AI. That's just a prediction, nothing that I know. And I think there's going to be a whole bunch of investments uh, the second half of this month, even though it's summertime and usually everybody's like, oh, we're a corporation and we're all on vacation and like, nothing really happened. AI is too hot right now. It's going to be an AI long AF summer, right? It really
Let's
is.
go. I'm here
Yeah.
for it. I'm
Yeah.
here for it, and we'll be here for it.
Yes, we
So,
will every week, and I promise as soon as I get done recording this episode, which we're going to be done in a minute here, I'm going to
yep.
start editing the last one because I haven't even done that yet.
All right. There you go.
But we're putting them out quicker than we can put them out, so that's a good thing. And boy, the views are running off the hook. So yay, everybody loves us.
Fantastic, man. All right, guys,
Happy
we will see
weekend.
you.
Peace out.
Peace.